Alright, so we got a 2014 Subaru Forester XT. We're going to be putting in a transmission from LKQ, CVT. This is the Forester XT with the 2.0 FA20 turbo. This is the insurance job. He was hitting about 40 miles an hour to a dead stop, and now his transmission growls really bad. So we're going to show you how to pull this thing out and properly fill and do all that, and we're going to try to see what happened to this thing as we go. Alright, so first we're going to drain the oil on this CVT chain, which is that 14 right there. Watch this. Oh, coat my gun, why don't you? So we're going to drop the pan off of this and see if we have any metal or internal damage, because it's making a shit ton of noise from back in this area here. I'm just going to go around and find little pry points. Or we can do that. I'm gonna grab the kitty litter. Alright, let's see if we can pick it up on camera, but there's some nice little chunkies, and that's full of metal. And if you look through it here, this is all nice and shiny, and it's got brass flakes in it. It just smells horrible. You want to hold that light, Jordan? See if I can play around in this and get new.
There's one, for sure.
Right over here. Like, there's a whole metal film on the bottom of this. Just sparkly as can be. You can kind of see it. So, we're going to get this tranny pulled out. First, we're going to start pulling the, if this thing will focus, I'm going to pull the exhaust down, because that's going to come off. I'm going to pull the drive line, throw this pan back up there so we don't make a huge mess, and get these axles out and start pulling this thing down. So watch this as we work. Can you just do stuff for me? Alright, we got those all removed. I just want to point.
See this?
Yeah, I just want to point something out that happened during the accident. He hit so hard. This mount is supposed to be coming out straight. It's everything pushed forward and bent the mount. So I've got to replace that. But for now, we got to take the car back down. We're gonna pull off some stuff at the tops, and we can just be done with the stuff at the top because we forgot about that shit. Alright, so we have to remove the intercooler to gain access to above the transmission, the starter, and all that good stuff. So we got a 12 that needs to be removed over there, a 12 over here, and 2 hose clamps need to be loosened up. One there, add one down in there, and we should be able to remove the intercooler fairly easy. Alright, so we got the intercooler off. We have a few connections we need to take off. You probably want to grab the camera and zoom in on it. We need to remove the torque strut, which is right here, 14 there, tilted up. We have these electrical connectors that we need to remove. We need to remove the starter, and it looks like we have some lines over here to be removed for the transmission lines. And we'll kind of just work as we go what we need to remove. So we'll start on the top, then go to the bottom. Alright, so we're back on the Forester, and up top, we already got the intercooler removed. Now we just need to get the starter removed, start unhooking our harness. Alright, so on both sides we need to remove the outer tie rod end from the knuckle itself. Do the other side. Alright, all we have left underneath is to get our shifter linkage off, the rest of our transmission bolts on each side, and our transmission cross member. So I'm gonna get started. To pull the tranny cross member bolts out right there, and we're ready to pull the transmission out. Alright, so on the carbon car, the rear plastics didn't fix the door cards. We had to do some trimming of the door, the pinch weld and the door seal. So we also have to do some trimming of this plastic. So we're gonna hot knife it and get it to kind of where we need, and then finish it all up. So let's see how this thing works.
Boom. It all like re-steps back together.
It doesn't matter that we're going to be cleaning this all up with a razor blade.
Yep.
So our cut's actually like, it's a rough cut, then you clean it up, and it should be. And like most of this, you can almost just peel it back, and that boom comes right off. And we're gonna edge that with a piece of trim, so when the door shuts, it's gonna be right up to the. Ow! Touched the hot plastic.
It's also Jared's birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday, Jared.
Thank you, man. 29 years of figuring this shit out. I'm still figuring it out. But yeah, we'll have a finished piece here in a moment, and we'll show you. Hey guys, the day after my birthday, almost ready to drop this transmission out of the Forester. The bad thing is, we got one stuck axle, so get this axle pulled out of here. We're ready to drop this transmission out. So I'm about ready to pull out this tranny, but I don't have a trans jack as of yet. So I kind of got to improvise a little bit. It's nice not being on the ground, but I have one of my wood things that I just set stuff on most of the time. But it's good enough to hold the transmission. I had to cut up one of my stands so I can support the motor from tipping forward, but pretty much just set up perfect right now. So all I'm gonna have to do is just slide the tranny back real easy. I've already got it pretty much apart. It's got to come back a little bit more, and we're just gonna raise the car right up off of it. So let's get that done. Working on a Subaru, you better bake.
And then one, just for good measure.
Just blank. Boom, looks like we're separated. Gonna bump the lift up just a little bit, but first, separated. Letting the engine down. Oh, dang it, girlfriend just took, or my wife just took the truck. Well, as soon as I get back, I'm gonna strap the transmission or the engine back to the torque strut so that it doesn't want to sit forward when I raise the car up. Forestor SUV thingy, and then it should be just a smooth going. Pull the tranny out. Have a buddy help me throw the new tranny up on that wood, whatever the hell you want to call it, and get the new tranny stabbed up in there. All right, so we got the engine held back with a strap, and we're ready to go up with the car. And the motor should stay, or the tranny should stay right where it's at. Alright, there you have it, guys. That's a 2014 Subaru Forester XT FA20 turbo automatic CVT. Transmission out. And that's one person with no trans jack. But not saying much. If you're a mechanic, you should be able to figure out how to get around shit. So yeah, tranny's out of here. Right back the motor. So yeah, I'm just gonna probably call a buddy, because I'm definitely probably gonna need help. Yeah, you know what? I got an engine hoist. I can just hoist it down and grab the other one and hoist it up. So I'm gonna probably do that, or give a buddy a call and see if I can get a hand and throw into the other one up there and get the new one installed. Alright, my buddy DJ came by to help me pick up that heavy CVT right there and get the new, well, used 40,000 mile CVT tranny from LKQ. Geico found that, and that's the one I was supposed to buy, so it's the one I bought, and this is what we're doing, putting it back in. So I'm gonna get this put back in, just kind of jam out some music. I really just want to get this thing done and get on to some backlog work, because this wasn't something that was expected. But it's a long-time customer of mine. Yeah, I think he's probably almost my first customer. So it's kind of crucial you take care of the people that have been taking care of you and feeding your family for quite some time. So let's just yeah, get this done. Alright guys, I don't have much memory time left on the SD card thing, but the transmission is up. The one thing I do want to point out, and the insurance adjuster did see this, is this mount is bent. You can even see kind of in there the marks from it hitting. You can definitely see the mark there. This mount's supposed to be, those are supposed to be straight, not bent. This car hit so hard, it bent that mount, so that's replaced. Got the LKQ transmission in. The axles are in. Just got some anti-seize to anti-seize the outer axle shafts. Get those in. We're gonna put our tie rods, ball joints on, tighten the specifications, and put in some new cotter keys. So, and then driveline exhaust, and then when I am done with that, I'm going to show you how to properly fill the front diff and the CVT transmission, the automatic on these cars. There is a lot of times that these are filled on the front differential through the wrong hole, and when that is done, it is actually filled into the CVT transmission. And then you go send the car out, and you know, a couple thousand miles later, they're coming back and the transmission's blown. And that's due to you drained the front differential oil and it never got refilled. All the oil went into the CVT transmission, and then now that is contaminated. So I'm going to finish what I need to do on the front, get the driveline and the exhaust, and then when I get time to fill this transmission up, I'm going to show you how to do the transmission and the front differential correctly, as well as I was told correctly and have went through all of my data and to do it correctly. So I'm going to do it and show you guys how to do that and go from there. Get this thing out of my life, start on the G35 timing chain job, and finish up on the carbon card and get that so it can go to the museum, because I believe that car is supposed to go to La Maze Auto Museum in Tacoma area. So yeah, I'm going to get on that, let you guys know when I get to it. Alright guys, axle's in, drive line's in, exhaust is done. So now I am to the point of the diff. So I just want to point out, here's your drain. It's a T70 Torx. Right here is a 14 millimeter right next to the drain. That's your oil level check. So first I'm going to do the diff on this because I don't have the intercooler done, and the fill is actually on the top. So I'm going to bring the car down. I've already drained the diff. I've got the plug out ready for check, and we're going to lower this vehicle down, and I'm going to show you how to fill the diff. Here's our fill. Here's our check right next to it. So our fill's back in, check's pulled, so we'll lower the vehicle, and we're going to fill it up from the top. So I'll show you when I get there. Alright, so the easiest way to fill this is if you have like a pneumatic air filler or pump, is you pull the check and you pump it. I think it's like 2.5 quarts or something like that, I can't remember, but you're gonna pump it, oil in it until it's full. You pull it out and it's just gonna drain. You're just gonna let it drain out until it's done draining and your diff's full, because that's just the check. So the diff's done. Now we're gonna get to filling the transmission. Starter's in, intercooler's in. Now we're gonna take it back up. I'm gonna show you how to fill up the transmission. We'll prime it before we start it. Alright, so your fill plug's on the back of the transmission. It's a 10 millimeter Allen. There's your drain. There's your fill. So what we're going to do is we're going to prime this transmission with oil without it running. We're going to fill it up until the oil comes out of there. Then we're going to start the motor, go through the gears, come back down, refill it, go through the gears, and do that until it's completely full. And then after that, the vehicle's done and being ready for a test drive. We got 4 in the car, ready to add the 5th. We started it, ran it through the gears. Need some more. Alright, I'll just let you guys know when it's full. Alright guys, so the 2014 Forester CVT trans replacement is done. I've filled the transmission, which I showed you how to do. Took it for a short test drive. Now it's back up on the lift, and we're going to make sure that it's full again. So we have it running. Go ahead and get that bitch in the air. We're going to pull that same fill plug that we had pulled to fill it. Make sure we're full as it's running. You want it to trickle out just like the front. Let it trickle out until it's done and you're full. So, car's getting up there. So, give it just a few minutes and we'll show you how to do that. Alright, so we're going to pull that same 10 millimeter plug in the back, right there above the exhaust. Go ahead. And now we're just going to let that drain out. And the training's full. That's how you do a CVT front diff service and replace a CVT transmission on a 2014 Forester XT. Thanks guys, like, comment, share, follow, all that great shit.